Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems and welcome back to MX vs ATV All Out, where today we are continuing on with our 2020 Pro Motocross DLC gameplays. Budds Creek on the docket today. Budds Creek is going to be released on July 16th to all your consoles or your Steam store on PC. And as it's the 2020 version, there are just like a few minor updates to the racetrack. They added this cool little like finish line double thing right there that you can throw some whips on. But like I said, the track isn't too much different from the 2019 version, which was off the 2018 track. So this is based off the 2019 track. But it's, like I said, it's not that much different. It's not supposed to be that much different. I mean, as it's a national track, it doesn't change that often. Budds Creek, sometimes it would go backwards, so I'm going to ride the track backwards to show it off what it looks like backwards. But this is the correct way, and this is the way it was last year when they raced there. Not too sure whether or not we're going to be able to get a chance to race at Budds Creek in 2020. It's tentative and was on the schedule, off the schedule. Now it's nothing is on the schedule because there has been no official announcement just yet. But hopefully we do. I've always liked Budds Creek, personally speaking. Obviously, it's got some great history. Hosting a Motocross of Nations and many years of, being a staple of American motocross, Henry Hill and things like that over the years. So I'll be bummed if we don't get Budds Creek this year, but at least we get it in a video game. And if you're not sure what this is, what I'm talking about, the Pro Motocross DLC package for the 2020 season pass in MX vs ATV All Out is available for $19.99. It comes with 12 tracks, which includes 11 nationals and Loretta Lynn's, which we did for the last video. And then eventually they say that Fox Raceway will be added to the tracks that they're going to do, but that's going to be later in the year. They said maybe September or October, sometime around there. I don't know if that's actually supposed to be part of the DLC package. I guess I should have really reiterated on that, but I know that they said they were going to add Fox Raceway at some point. So it's all 11 tracks except Fox Raceway plus Loretta Lynn's for $19.99, which is, whatever. It's like a buck. Hold on, my math is bad. Buck 40 something a track or so, which isn't too bad, honestly speaking, to have all the national tracks. I mean, for many years we've wanted to have all the national tracks in motocross video games, so I mean, why not? But the one thing I will say is that it is a little bit of a bummer to me that free ride wise they didn't expand upon some of these old maps a little bit more. The 2019 Budds Creek free ride map that I'm on is pretty much the exact same as the Budds Creek 2020 map, and I get it that they probably didn't want to have to redo the entire terrain file size and all that stuff like that. I'm not saying like they needed to do that, but it would have been cool if they added some fun Easter eggs or maybe some freestyle ramps or just something more than just the little double that they added over there, because the maps themselves, or the maps are pretty much the exact same. To be honest with you, like the buildings are pretty similar. Every part of the track is pretty much the same. I get that it is in real life the same, but as they've been doing with some of the other tracks, they've like taken some of the real life aspects about the surrounding area and made some fun, cool, weird things. Like WW Ranch, for example, it doesn't have that weird pit bike track thing at the far north of the map, which is far north of the track in real life, but they added it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be cool if they added some trail riding that you could do around the edge of the track or something like that. But I digress. I'm not going to complain too much about it because we get some awesome tracks. They did actually update it. It is, got some bumps and undulations in different locations, so the track itself is a little bit different. And, they had just made some subtle environment changes as well to kind of make it a little bit prettier, I would say. But, yeah, the Budds Creek track, I think, is built really well in this game. It's another track I've never been to, so I can't relate to it, but it seems to me like they got the elevation pretty close. Maybe not as harsh on some of these ups and downs over here. I think the off-camber right there is a lot steeper. The top of this hill down to the bottom of the valley is also quite a bit steeper, I believe. So maybe the elevation-wise, they just got it a little bit off, but in terms of layout, they obviously got it pretty spot on with where everything is, how the jumps go, and all that business. I will say that, and this is probably just me, I think Henry Hill is a little too small in this game. Like, I've seen Henry Hill in many of videos, and with Doug Henry flying off it in real life, and this one just feels kind of small. Like, it doesn't feel as big as it should be. Again, maybe I'm wrong because I haven't been there, but to me it feels a little small. But yeah, rest of the track, pretty darn good. I'm trying to play with a little bit more of like realistic settings, so I'm sliding around the track a lot more, and I've had a couple people, I think somebody from the MXO crew over there reached out to me and gave me a setup, so I'm running his setup. Thank you, I forgot your name. I apologize for that, but I'm trying to set up the bike a little bit better for the game so that it feels better for me, and I feel like it feels pretty good. Like, it seems like it's handling the bumps pretty well. It's sticking to the ground pretty well. Like, I feel like I can actually hook in some of these ruts for the most part. The only thing I don't love about it is it seems like it sits lower to the ground, but it kind of like hovers. Like, from bump to bump, it's not like digging in. It's just kind of like bounce, 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 bounce across every single bump. So I don't feel like I'm getting much traction to the ground. And I know I could probably solve that by like leaning back a little bit more and stuff like that. But in the areas where I do lean back, it doesn't seem to always fix it. It still seems like I'm skittering around the bumps and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm still just such a noob, such an idiot at playing this game that it's like I pick it up and I feel good at it, and then I watch someone else play it and I feel terrible at it. So I hope that I look okay playing it, because I don't feel like I'm that bad until I see somebody else play it, and then I feel like I'm terrible. But anyway, enough about that. Let's continue talking about this track. Yeah, Budds Creek in Maryland. If you're not familiar with like United States geography or anything like that, Maryland is south of New York City by an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. And I think Budds Creek specifically is like southwest of New York City. So I think a lot of people know where New York City is in the USA if you're not from there, or even if you're from the US and you're not sure of geography. But it's on the east coast of the USA. It's pretty much a coastal state. It really only has like a buffer of Delaware on the side of it that keeps it from being like a true coastal state, because it has a little bit of the coast, but Delaware has most of the coast that would be next to Maryland. And it's surrounded by, let's see, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New Jersey slightly, Delaware, North Carolina, I think, and West Virginia, or maybe only West Virginia, and then North Carolina south of that. Even my geography is a little bit off, but yeah, Budds Creek, like historically, was always like kind of in the middle of the championship, and then of late it was towards the end. It was like round 11 the last couple of years or something like that, which I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of, because I felt like it didn't hold as much like sentimental value. Like, yes, some people won championships there, but I felt like the racing itself wasn't as good, because so many people were like, championship's over, I don't really care. Whereas like back in the day, there's been some ridiculously good races at Budds Creek over the years, just close battles and berms, banking off, cutting underneath. It seems to me like it's a great track for racing, and it's provided some really, really good races over the years. Not so much recently, though, just because I think it was a finale, or the penultimate round. But yeah, like I said, I've always been a fan of Budds Creek. It's the only place that I won a national moto in MX Simulator in my pro career in that game. So to me, it holds a little bit of sentimental value. I always say, oh, Budds Creek Moto 1, I was there. But yeah, good track. Well done by the Rainbow Studios crew, and another fine addition to the Pro Motocross DLC. All right, I'm going to hit Henry Hill one more time, and then I'm going to kind of show you guys around the facility a little bit, some of the other nuanced details that maybe I haven't already hit upon, so you guys can see for yourself what went into making this track and what they added, what they didn't add. If you're a local to the area and you were looking for something specific that they maybe did or did not add to the facility. We'll come down the hill here one more time. Oh, by the way, I'm playing as Ken Roxon with a Pay 2021 mod pack, which I always include in the description. I probably should have mentioned that towards the beginning, but you can get that in the description below. So you can go down to the swampy lake here in the middle, but it's very, very tight and narrow to ride around here. There's just like this little area, this little sandbar that you can ride on. And then if I go any deeper in the water, it resets me outside of this area. Let me see if I can aquaplane over here. Nope, it's just gonna. Oh wait, it didn't set me out of the boundaries. Cool. So nothing really special, just swamp, 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 swamp. If I remember right, I feel like I've heard locals talk about how bad this lake sometimes smells in the middle. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it's always just been right in the middle of the track. It's been there for years. We could go over here towards the facilities that they have up here. They have like a lodge thing. Nothing really like super special about it. They just have some platforms that you can ride up onto, and this house, you can actually jump up onto these platforms too. If I go over here and I jump up here, and you can be like, yeah, I'm up here. And you can look out over the track and you can glory at the beauty that is Budds Creek. American flags off in the distance. I think they have 3 American flags on this track. America. They got that Luke's vendor thing over here. That's just kind of an addition. It's kind of cool little add-ons there. Then this is a pit area up here. Then they have the scorer's tower right here, which I tried forever to get up on top of, but I just could not make it happen. They have a barge board or a barge bin, and then some grandstands. Through the corners out here, got another little portable bin thingy. And then they have this cool building that has some artwork on it, some Budds Creek Motocross Park over here. It's got the MX vs. ATV all-out original bike and stuff from the screenshots on it. And then it's got this big mural over here that says Budds Creek Motocross Park. It's the same design as the thing on the other side. Then they got this cool barn that you can come in here and you can be like, yacht, and jump through this window. Jump out the other side and crash. Or you could just jump up here. Don't crash. Ah, damn. You can jump up here, I promise. I've done it once before. You can also jump up in the haystacks. And then it goes, whoa, hey, you're not supposed to be up here. So a little barn that you can kind of explore through. Nothing particularly special about that. Then there's a house up here, which I believe the facility owners live in. Or lived in. Little barn and another small shed back here. Just some added details to the track. I already showed you that big double jump over there. There's another garage over here. Some grandstands. And then the flat track up here. Which is here in real life. And they do some flat track racing, I believe. I think they actually do some short course dirt racing too. Some like late model dirt series or sprint cars or whatever. But you can get on here with your buddies and do some flat track racing. Then they have some boards and some housing over here. And if I do this just right, you get a bird's eye view of this track. Let's see. Yep. Bird's eye view of the track. I think it's just you crash and then the camera pans way out. But you get a bird's eye view of the track, so that's kind of cool. This little supercross track over here was in the DLC last year. It's not even like a supercross track. It's like it's what I would call local cross. It's got little rollers here, and then little table, and then tiniest little whoops, which in real life I would die in. And then kind of a rather technical-ish rhythm section. But then the rest of the track, except for the finish line jump, is pretty simple. Just a little anthill roller on the inside. Berm here, table, come back through the middle, then some rollers into like a triple. Even that isn't that gnarly. Like I think if I speed check someone off that, I'd probably jump that. And then yeah, it's just like a small little track. This track I believe is not there in real life. The dirt track around this area is, but this little track inside of it is not there. I'm not going to swear to that being accurate, but from what I've seen from Google Maps and stuff like that, I don't believe that's true. Then there's a American flag over here inside of a pen with some porta potties around it that if I was talented at all, I could do donuts around. I was doing donuts around it. There we go. Bam, just nice donuts around the American flag. And yeah, I mean, just kind of everything around the facility. It's not new or anything. I think you've seen a lot of these vehicles already kind of scattered about on some of the other tracks DLCs. Here I can even show off the map. Not huge. It's got the track. It's got this thing. It's got this little lake over here, which I'll go down to in a second. It's got obviously these buildings that I was just over by. They added the new jump right here that I hit at the very beginning. Now I'm over here. There's a gate into the facility that I'm going to keep riding up towards over here. And we're just kind of like out in the fields where camping and other festivities go on. I'm sure there's some team semis that end up over on this side of the track as well. And then you got this nice road that kind of takes you into the center of the facility. And down, we'll go down to that lake, like I said. That road just kind of continues on down over there. But here's the other lake over here, which you can aquaplane over. Or hydroplane if you're American. Which I am, but I always say aquaplane because I grew up watching Formula 1 and they always say aquaplane. So there's just some shrubberies, some other stuff in here. I dug through here trying to find some Easter eggs or other things that they hid, and I didn't find anything. So everybody over at Rainbow Studios, if you're watching this and you did hide something in here, I am not talented enough to find whatever you hid as an Easter egg in here. If you did, probably didn't though. I'm just I'm just driving through bushes because I don't know what to do. And yeah, that's Budds Creek. DLC coming Thursday, July 16th. Will be added automatically to your consoles and or your PC if you already have the Season Pass package. We had a week off last week from any track updates after Loretta Lynn's, but now we've got ourselves lovely Budds Creek to play, and I would recommend. If you guys haven't already tried it in your Season Pass, you should get it. And if you haven't already got the Season Pass, you can also get that as well. And you can see some of the other videos on other tracks that we've already done, so you can decide for yourself whether or not the tracks are up to snuff enough for you to play. I think that the value in it alone is that we got some of the newer tracks that I've already played. Now all the stuff from here on out is going to be tracks that they included in last year's package, but that's okay. We still get this cool package, we get some new tracks, and we get some tracks that they refurbished a little bit, so I don't mind it. And Budds Creek today. Good stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, bung it a like down in the comment section below. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.